Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Ripples Rising, empowering voices, creating waves of change. The wind is picking up a little bit here on Beaver Lake, and ripples are coming in. And talking about ripples, I've got a fantastic rippler here with me today, Lisa Ecke. She's a wife, mother, and grandmother to two wonderful granddaughters. Lisa and her husband Roger have run a food service company with Cargill Industries for 23 years, providing meals and breakfast, lunch, and dinner to hourly workers, catering department meetings, and plant-wide events for up to 1,200 people. Like I've told you, I don't cook, so I'm happy with sandwiches. I cannot imagine cooking for that many people. She's going to tell us about that. Lisa's life's mission centers on helping improve the lives of others and investing in the next generation by supporting them in their journey and growth process. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Jackie, for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, you know, Lisa's also, she's a Justice of the Peace on our local quorum court of Washington County, and which I'll interject, I was asked to serve on the Equalization Board of Washington County, where the citizens have the right to come and protest their taxes on their properties. And with my background being in real estate, I was asked to be on that board, and Lisa was one of the 15 members of the quorum court to vote for me to fill that position. Yay! So it's been an interesting and learning experience, and honestly, I'm interjecting myself, but if you have high property taxes, you do have the right to protest your property taxes. And honestly, this last session, we meet with people in August, September, before your bill is due in October in the state of Arkansas, that we lowered, I would say, 85% of the people that came to us.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. And our assessor, you know, we want to be fair. We want to do the right thing. And, you know, if your $600,000 house is in a $600,000 neighborhood, but you've got a lawsuit against a builder and everything's wrong with it, we might knock it down to $450,000. So, as one example.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you, Lisa. What has led you into this political arena, and why the Justice of the Peace on the county, and how long have you been doing that?
Well, thank you, Jackie. I've been on the quorum court. I'm serving my 6th term, and they're 2-year terms. How this all got started was our country's political atmosphere before was, I felt, going in the wrong direction. And I've never been politically minded or seeking public office, but it was so bad that it made me sick to my stomach. I will say this is like in 2012, 2013, and every night we'd go to bed, I'd pray, Lord God, where are your people? Raise them up and put them in positions of leadership and in government where they can affect change. Lord, where are your people? Raise them up. For 2 years, my husband heard this prayer, and he goes, can you pray about something else, Lisa? And I go, it just wouldn't let go of me. It was something just inside and just wouldn't let me go. But interestingly enough, or curiously enough, one of my dearest friends' son kept on coming up to me. We were like family. And for 2 years, he'd say, hey, why don't you run for JP? I'd say, go away, leave me alone. I'm not going to do that. And every time we'd get together, hey, have you considered, why don't you run for JP? I'd say, go away and leave me alone. Well, one Sunday after church, he gets in front of me and he says, will you pray about running? And I went, whoa, don't do that. Because he knew, I got you now. So I did. I got all the reasons why I am not qualified to run for Justice of the Peace, and got before the Lord, and it said, okay, here's my case. I'm not the one. And what I heard inside of me was, what did you know about being a mother 31 years ago today?
Yeah.
It was my son's birthday that day. And every year I'd call him up at 8:03 in the morning and say, you know what time it is? It's time for your birthday. And I mean, every year.
Oh.
And I went, it's Randy's birthday. Oh, Lord. I said, nothing. He says, that's right. And you needed me every step of the way.
Oh.
So it is with this. I'm putting you on a new path, and that of public servant. And you are going to need me every step of the way because you don't know what you're doing. And he was right. I didn't. And as all I can say is the rest was history, but I learned, I read, I researched. I asked a lot of questions. And here I am in my 6th term, getting ready to file this November for my 7th term. And that is why how I got into being a justice of the peace.
You kept praying for somebody else to show up?
Oh, yeah. It's always them. It's never you. But then the Lord said, tag, you're it.
Tag, you're it.
Tag, you're it.
So share with us how your tenure as JP has enabled you to carry out your mission.
Okay.
Your mission of helping others.
My mission was long before this, and that was helping improve the lives of others and investing in the next generation, helping them on their life's journey and their path. That was something that I did in business. That's something I did in the community. I carried it out in our church. And our then county judge, Joseph Wood, who is now our Arkansas Republican chairman, when he read that, he said, Ecke, that's the Great Commission. And I went, what? Yeah, I guess it is, and it makes me realize this is not really about me carrying out a mission or what I'm doing. This is what I was created to do. And this is my calling. And I answered the call because tag, I'm it. And so in doing that on the court, goodness, that's what public service is all about. Well, it's never about you. You read these ordinances that come before you, and your first thought is, how is this going to improve the lives of the people in Washington County?
Boy.
Is this going to be good? Or is this just going to be for a select few? Is this going to lead us to a brighter future? Or is this going to stall us in doing what we need to do? And those are questions that you really have to, I always do this. Okay.
Weigh the scale.
What are we doing? And I talk to myself and I answer myself. But in processing, what are you doing and why are you doing it? And the weight of those decisions is heavy.
Yeah.
It really is. Some people, it's easier to make those decisions. For me, I just really want to do what's right. And there's times when those ordinances, you're like, this is just so wrong. Because there was a resolution that came up before the court, and it was all about inclusivity and other communities. And it was such a narrow resolution. It sounded good, but it did not reflect the values of Washington County and her citizens. I have my finger on the pulse. I know what farmers and ranchers and people out in the 4-H and what they think and the family values that they hold, and this one did not. Got a lot of heat for it, a lot of protesters, a lot of hate mail, but you know what? I knew that I did what was right by saying no.
And so what was the conflict there specifically, if I can ask?
The conflict was it didn't line up with our values as a whole. Washington County is conservative. They're very family oriented. They want to promote one generation to the next without losing our core values. And this one would, in a very subtle way, saying, we need to include the other community. and it's hard, especially when it's the LGBTQTI. What is it? Are there any other letters that go behind that? I get confused. And I'm like, why are we doing this? The Constitution provides, or the Bill of Rights provides rights for everybody.
Okay.
It's not just for a select few. And that's what this
Correct.
resolution wanted to do. Kind of promoting them above everybody else. And I went, nope, can't do that.
The inclusivity, that's what you were referring to then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in doing that, you ostracize the rest of the community. Can't do that.
No. Interesting. So is that a past challenge? Or do you have any kind of current challenges coming to the forefront right now? And how are you going to handle them?
Well, yes, we do. We have amazing nonprofit organizations out there, organizations that are helping people that need help, a hand up, not necessarily a hand out, and not a crutch. They need help me get out of this cycle. Nick Robbins, I just have to he's just a wonderful man who started Returning Home. And what Returning Home is people that are getting ready to be paroled enter this program, and they learn what it is to be a father, a husband, how to hold a job, how to budget, get a bank account. But mainly it's how to be a man, something that these men have never seen before. And he's showing them, they don't have a father figure.
Yeah.
So that is separate. We call that Returning Home.
Okay.
And the county partnered with them, and it is a very successful program with a very low rate of recidivism. And recidivism is people that get caught up in this vicious cycle of going and committing the same crime over and over and over and over, and they don't know how to break out this vicious cycle.
Right.
So Nick started a pilot program called Community Rebuilding Initiative. And what he's doing is nonviolent offenders that are sitting in the county jails, waiting to be adjudicated, waiting for trial, or serving out the last, 6 months of their sentences, have an opportunity to go into this program. The choice is theirs, and that is where they will help rebuild that life of the man. They will provide education. They're in school for 6 hours. They learn math, science, and other foundational core courses. They learn that we have nonprofit organizations coming in doing churches, faith-based, teaching them what it is, and partnering with Seven Hills, getting them.
Explain Seven Hills.
Seven Hills helps homeless people, give them shelter.
So are these people still in jail at that time? Okay.
They are. This is still a jail facility.
Okay.
And they get locked in. So what they're trying to do is to rebuild the man and get them ready to be out into the community. Now, the biggest issue was men would get paroled out. Okay, they're done.
Okay.
Served my time.
Yep.
But they have nowhere to live.
Right.
They don't have Medicaid for their medications. So what happens is they default to their old network of friends. Okay, Frank has a house or a trailer. Frank, do you have a room? No, but I have a couch. You can stay with me. The only thing is that Frank is a drug dealer. All right, I need to get to work. All right, Bill, do you have a car? Yeah, I have a car. I'll take you to work. The only thing is Bill likes to get drunk at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so what we're trying to do is break those relationships and those networks.
Wow.
To say you don't need those anymore.
That's big.
What we're going to do now is create new networks of people like Seven Hills.
Yep.
You can stay here.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to help you get a vehicle. We're going to help you get transportation to work, that you're no longer influenced by those bad guys
Right.
that just want you to get
Back
stuck
in
in
the
this
circle.
circle. And we're trying to break those habits and patterns.
Wow.
And that is what they are doing.
How long has this been in process?
This is a pilot program that started in February.
In February of this year.
Yeah, February 2025, just this year. I was so excited, and we partnered with them to help fund them. And this is where the partnership between Nick Robbins and the CRI is that we on the Quorum Court have to approve the funding mechanism for this tool to be available to the circuit judges when they are sentencing people for
Right.
their crimes.
Okay.
It does not absolve them of what they've done. They still have to pay for what they did.
Yes.
It's not saying, oh, okay, you know what, we'll just, no bail, we'll be soft. No, it's, hey, this is a program and this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
Christy Beaumont, circuit judge of drug court, came in advocating for CRI. She says, this is the most wonderful program I have ever seen. She goes, it helps me make the right decisions on what does this person really need to be transformed as a human being, as a citizen, and how do we get them to be productive again? And that's what it's all about.
Wow. So
It's amazing.
I know it's early, but have there been any kind of results yet?
Yes.
Really?
There really are. And now this is something that the inmates have to choose to do.
Okay. So do
They're
you have
not
an
being
idea?
forced.
Okay. Do they have an idea how many the percentage is? It 50% of the inmates choose to do this, or 10%?
I'd have to get those reports, but if you go to the Washington County website, they will show the CRI reports. And this is what Nick Robbins does and why his organization is so successful. They provide for us monthly reports on statistics.
Oh.
These are how many people that came into the program. These are how many people left the program. These are the ones that are staying on the program. And so it's still in its infancy, but it's a pilot program that,
Has measurable results.
yes.
Wow.
And it's not national statistics. It
Okay.
is Washington County
Right here.
metrics and numbers and
Interesting.
data here.
Wow.
And a lot of organizations like to use national data. Well, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need Los Angeles's, county's data mixed in with ours.
No.
No, these numbers are real. This is us.
Okay. Interesting. So
Yeah.
does this and getting it because there's been a issue of overcrowding in our jails, probably like in a lot of the areas. So they're still going to be in jail, but go through this program with a less likely chance of returning.
Yes, the rate of recidivism for returning home. Then they showed the national average is 80% of the people are back in jail for the same crime.
Yeah.
They're back in. There's some at as high as 92 to 96%, even here in Washington County during different times of the year. That's how high the rate of recidivism is. Returning home has a rate of recidivism of 36 to 42%.
Okay.
And the other guys end up graduating, and some of them want to return and be mentors to
Okay.
those entering the program.
Excellent.
I know.
Excellent.
It's a mentoring program.
Something,
if I can share this, because this just
please.
happened,
Yes.
that is exciting for me. When Nick Robbins first shared this with me, he says, Lisa, we're going to get a lot of opposition. I said, who would want to oppose something like this? And there are those that are just so envious of what Nick has been able to accomplish. They will do anything to try and take that away, and by saying, no, you can't fund them.
Oh my.
So I said, Nick, this program has an opportunity to be the template or the pilot program for the rest of the state. He says, that's the vision we have. But this thing is so big, it's not just one individual person.
No.
It's going to take all of us
The whole community.
together
Yes.
to lift this up. It's just too heavy. So I said, okay. Then it just hit me. I said, what would happen if this became a national
Yeah.
program that counties all across the nation would implement? Because we do have jail overcrowding. Across this country, we have jail overcrowding. That's a symptom.
Yes. Yes. That'd be fantastic.
I love a quote that Teddy Roosevelt shared in one of his books. He says, to educate a criminal and release him out in society is just creating a menace to society. He needs to be transformed from the mind and the heart.
Right. Right.
And that's what the CRI is doing.
Oh, interesting.
Now, in March, our judge, Patrick Deakins, nominated me to be on the National Association of Counties Criminal Justice and Public Safety Steering Committee. This is huge. He said, you're so passionate about the CRI, getting on the national organization that helps us. Now, what they do is they make referrals to Congress and to the Senate to help shape the legislation that's coming out that will affect us all nationally. 3 weeks ago, I got accepted, and I'm now on the National Association of Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee. And I went, this is what Washington County is going to trailblaze once again in helping transform the lives of other people.
Boy.
And I said, that's my mission,
That is.
helping improve the lives of others,
Yes.
and then the next generation. So it's all just...
There you go.
It's a path
Oh,
that's just walking out, and
fantastic.
it's something all of us can walk out.
I get goosebumps.
All of us can walk this out.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Wow! There is a. I'd like to say, what opportunities have you had in carrying out? Well, that you've had. What kind of ripples have you made in the government? You know, I'm hearing your voice, Lisa, and it's kind of like mine. I don't have a real strong voice. I don't like to really talk like this a lot. Lisa has a very kind, soft voice. I do too, unless I get mad.
That's true.
So, you know, Lisa, being a woman in politics, how have you been, have you overcome some of the maybe perceptions of men, or she's just kind of a soft-spoken woman? Or, so how do you overcome those perceptions? And, you know, Carrie Parent-Smith had mentioned
Very
earlier,
good.
everybody's always watching you. Somebody's watching you. You don't think anybody's watching you, but people are watching you. And so what has maybe some other women learned from you as well?
Wow. That is so true. I loved Carrie Parent-Smith's interview. I took a course in the leadership development, and my 9th leadership guidelines, I've got 10 of them. Number 9 is watch your manners, because other people are watching. I mean, they're watching everything you do. You don't realize it, but they're watching you. And being kind of cognizant of that makes you deliver your best at all times. Now, there was one thing about being a female on the quorum court is a woman, if she gets a little firm or angry or dogmatic about doing something, can be perceived as being, oh, that's just an angry, aggressive woman, which I think is not right.
No.
But that is something that we as women have to always be aware of, not coming across, and we see them on the national level, how they come across as just angry, yapping, you know, women So, but the biggest ripple I had, I'll have to say, was when a Chinese American, all 5'1", sweet Zita Nathanbong came to the quorum court and said, "I'm leaving county service." She'd been working for the assessor's office for 17 years. And I'm going on, and I want to thank a couple of JPs on this court who really impacted my life. And I was one of them. And I looked up, and I was just, if you don't mind, I'm just going to kind of read what she said, because it just took me by surprise. I mean, it's just like, what? And this is what Zita said. "It's been amazing to watch JP Ecke start her JP advocacy. She showed me that just because you're a female and you have a soft voice doesn't mean that you're weak. You can be strong and you can be feminine, and you can speak with a soft voice, yet be loud enough to make a difference." I think that was one of the biggest compliments anybody has ever given me. I wasn't aware of the ripple that I was making in her life. And God bless Zita Nathanbong. It just, and it's true. So, number 9, watch your manners, because people are watching.
The last question, we're about ready to wrap up. The opportunities that you've had, what opportunities have you had in carrying out your mission? And would you say it's had a ripple effect? I mean, that was so powerful that you can speak with a soft voice and still make a difference.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is. Women, that really is. We don't have to yell from the rooftop. This other one was an opportunity that came to me. The Springdale City Council was having a pro-life resolution, and they wanted to pass a resolution saying that Springdale is a pro-life city, and that Planned Parenthood could not come in and get a stronghold by setting up shop there. I was compelled to support Colby Fulfer in this resolution, and said, I'm going to go to a city council meeting. So I went, and I was like 5 minutes too late. The parking lots was just full. So I walked in, not realizing there was 2 camps. And so, Lisa Ecke, I sat in the wrong camp next to these people who were so nice. This young man gets my chair, and I said, well, thank you, how polite. And as the meeting progressed, I realized, oh no, I'm sitting in the wrong camp. And the nice young man that got me a chair and that was so polite got up and said the most vile things about the city council and passing this resolution, and that it's a woman's right and you can't tell her what to do with her body if she wants to abort. And then he did something that really chapped me. He pulled the race card and called Colby Fulfer and Mayor Doug Sprouse nothing more than white, bigoted, racist men. And passing this pro-life resolution is just to help white people and to keep the Latinos and the Marshalls and everybody else down. I listened to him and I said, you shouldn't have done that, buddy. Shouldn't have done that. Because I am Spanish and German on my dad's side. And I am Sephardic Jew and Scottish and Spanish on my mother's side. I'm a little bit of everybody, and I don't like people pulling the race card. We're all human beings. There's one race, and that's a human race.
That's right.
Period. So I got up and I said my speech, and afterwards, this beautiful young college girl comes up to me, Abigail Thurstonson, and smiles and says, hi, will you mentor me? I said, what do you mean? Well, see, she spoke after I did. Her mother was a Christian and had an affair with a married man and got pregnant. And she had a choice. Her mother wanted her to have an abortion and just get it over with. And she said, no, I'm going to have this child and give it up for adoption. Well, her cousin ended up adopting the baby. So she had these sets of grandparents and these sets of grandparents, and everybody just loved her. And she knew who her biological mother was, and they still have a good relationship. Well, then she said, she introduced me to Abby Desjarnet. They all start with A. Allie, Abby, Addie, and anyway. In 2019, they said, we want you to mentor us in politics because our college professors say that there's no such thing as a Christian politician. It's a conflict of interest. It's an oxymoron. And Abby Desjarnet said, what if I get 3 politicians, Christian politicians, for my senior thesis and do a podcast? And he says, good luck. You're not going to find them. She went to Lance Eads, Senator, Judge Joseph Wood, and JP Lisa Ecke.
There you go.
She got her 3. Well, then COVID hit, but I met them, and then Abby Desjarnet introduced me to Allie Paris. They're all from Springdale. And they were part of Charlie Kirk's movement on campus. But then Abby says, I want something different. I want something more. And in the basement of her parents' room, in their house, she said, I want a biblical answer to political questions, to the woke movement, to this and that. And that's how Counteract USA was birthed. They started in Springdale on campus, and there was so much support, and her generation, Gen Z is what they call them, were so excited. It's now gone just all across Arkansas, all across the country. They've got groups all over, New York to California, up to Oregon and Washington State, these liberal states. And now they've gone worldwide. They went to Israel and now in Korea.
Okay.
In such a short period of time. And they are affecting their generation on how to answer the question. And that was what a lot of them didn't know how to do.
Right.
So they're empowering young people who want to have a biblical response to these questions.
Wow.
What amazes me is in such a short period of time, God has raised up these girls, and to think I had a ripple effect. And the question I ask, that you never realize how far and how wide your ripple's going to go.
There you go.
You never know. It started in the basement.
That's where it starts.
It starts in the basement. College girls just graduating. What do we do?
And
this is what they're doing. They're called Counteract USA. In November, they're having their 7th conference. They've had Senator Louis Gohmert. They had Riley Gaines speak at one of them. They had Abby Johnson about being pro-life and anti-abortion. I mean, they've got big hitters. And now when they went to Korea, they were with Charlie Kirk 4 days before his assassination. And the pastor that invited them said, he met him in Washington, D.C., I want Korean girls to hear your message. I'm inviting you. Will you come?
Wow.
And they went, and Abby Desjarnet spoke. There's over 8,000 women
Really?
at this rally. And she got her part, and Charlie gave his part, and others, Right after they left, that Korean pastor was arrested and is in prison today.
Oh.
So, yeah, ripple, great, but realize what is coming against, what's trying to stop that ripple. And they know that, but they know that they're going to get them out.
Yeah.
And this pastor's doing the right thing. But the ripple he had on all these women,
Yes.
all the women that were there, that's exciting.
Oh, fantastic.
So thank you for giving me this opportunity
Lisa.
to share from my heart to y'all. So go out and ripple.
Ripple. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.